Are you someone who takes things way too seriously than they actually are? Do you take everything personally? Tend to think a lot about one single issue over and over again? End of the day, you end up feeling stressed out. Want to get out of it? Then this is the right place for you. Hello, namaste and welcome to the Mediocre Madness, and I hope that this video finds you in great health. Today, yes, you have guessed it correct. We will be talking about how not to take things seriously or personally. So if that interests you, keep on watching. Have you ever asked yourself that why things are happening the way they are happening? Now, there is a very popular idiom that says what goes around comes around. The other day while I was going through the internet, something really caught my eyes and that was extremely fascinating to know. So today I would like to share the same thing with you all. Now there is an approach named the 3 principles. Now according to this approach, it says that your subjective experience of the world is created by your habitual thoughts. Now I'll explain it to you. For example, if a person who is habitually very negative or hateful, he or she is expected to receive the same kind of treatment from the world or from their environment. Similarly, if a person who is very loving and caring will receive the same treatment from the external world. If a person who is very curious and interested in exploring different things is expected to experience a very interesting world. Now I think we can get back to our main topic and say that now it seems reasonable to assume that a person who is habitually very serious tends to receive or experience a very serious kind of a world. Okay, now if you're a person who takes everything very seriously and tends to worry a lot about every single thing, then you have this overactive superego as described by Sigmund Freud. Now we all know him, right? Now what is the superego? This is a part of our conscious or psyche. Now don't get me wrong, I wasn't even a student of psychology, so I will not get into the theoretical part as I myself don't know it. So I'll just try and explain it in a very simple manner for you. Now this overactive superego is the same thing that ensures that we stick to the social norms and the regulations and we never ever break those rules. Okay. Now from where does this superego come from? A very good question. It generally comes from our parents, from our families, the way we have been brought up. So if you remember that when we were kids, our parents used to tell us that don't do this and don't do that, otherwise this can happen and that can happen. That was their way of alert us from the possible challenges or the threats that we may come across in case if we try to break the norms of the society or the societal norms. Now our parents got that from their parents and they passed it on to us. Now again, when we become parents, we'll do the same thing. We'll pass on the legacy to our children. Now that was one reason why you take things very seriously. Now another reason could be that since childhood you've always been pushed to achieve, and you're a kind of person who has the tremendous fear of failure and rejection. So if you're that kind of a person, if I assign you a job or a task, you will get engrossed and completely focus on that particular task, so much so that meanwhile you'll forget to have fun and you will not even realize that you can also enjoy the task, enjoy your job. So that leads us to the first tip as to how you can overcome this issue of being too serious all the time. So first thing first, understand that stressing over a certain issue will not solve your problem. Try to find out the fun, the humor, the wit in it. What is stress? I would say it's nothing but a self-inflicted kind of psychological nightmare. Now what it does basically, it takes a very trivial issue and makes it a huge mountain or a headache, and our brain actually transforms it into a great mountain or hill or whatever, a huge headache for us. Now if you really want to solve a problem, do not consider stressing out to be a problem solving method. It's not even an option. Whenever I face a similar kind of a situation, what I do, and that really helps me a lot, like I distance myself from that situation for that moment. Take some time out and I try to replay the entire situation, and this time when I'm actually watching the whole thing or imagining the whole situation all over again, I take the stand of a spectator or of an audience and not a victim this time. It will actually help you to get a whole new perception. And as because you're detaching yourself, you're no longer a victim, you're just an audience, you can actually see the other things, the other aspects, and figure out what the problem was and how to resolve it, rather than stressing over it and doing this and that and whatever. Second thing, which is very very important nowadays especially, is that I'm sure that you all will agree to this. We tend to portray our lives in the best possible manner. So we put up pictures and all those happy things on the social platforms, and people who are watching on the other side gets a feeling that you and I have the perfect life, which is probably not the case. So don't believe everything you see. We all have our own set of craziness, misunderstandings and errors, faults, weirdness. So none of us are perfect. So embrace your own perfection. There is nothing more beautiful than that. Imperfections are beautiful, trust me. Have you ever thought about it, that people who are actually very happy in their own lives and they don't take every single thing very seriously, do you think that they don't have self-respect, or do you think that they don't understand that they are being humiliated, or they have just faltered or have just made a blunder? No, that's not true. Now there could be again two possible reasons. One, either they're happy with the societal norms and rules and regulations, they've accepted it with an open heart and they're happy in that way. Or two, they have broken the rules and they have set their own standards, and they are living it in their own terms. So if you really want to be happy, figure out which way you would like to follow and then live it. Stay happy. That's the key. And the last thing that I would like to talk about is that, actually it's a question to you all. Ask yourself that would you like to hang out with a person who is able to laugh at his own self whenever he does something very silly, or you would like to be with somebody who gets upset at the slightest of provocation? Do you like to have a friend who can cheer you up when you are feeling very low, or you want to have a friend who makes you feel even more depressed? Ask yourself. Would you like to have a partner who can easily own up to their own mistakes, or who can actually confess that yes, I have done it? Or you want to have somebody in your life who is like under no circumstances takes the blame? If you still cannot stop taking things or yourself very seriously, consider these questions. Self-coach. Okay, these questions are actually eye-openers that will help you go a long way. Remember, a good sense of humor and presence of mind can get you through trust me, any situation. Learn to laugh at yourself. That will help you go a long way, trust me. I have a plan of doing a separate video as to how to develop your sense of humor. So if you really want that, then just post a comment below. I would really like to do that for you guys. Before we end, let me just tell you that it's not that every time we need to laugh at ourselves and take things very lightly. Obviously there are certain things that needs more attention. We need to get serious. You also have to remember that there is really nothing very positive or healthy about taking every single thing so seriously that you know end up turning every single molehill into a mountain. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video. I hope that you found this video helpful in some way. If so, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe in case you haven't. Shall see you around next week. Till then, you take very good care of yourself. Stay happy. Bye bye. Namaste.